So hey everyone, I'm Harshal Jain, your mentor at Coders Hub, and in this video guys we are gonna create this awesome light bulb light and dark animation using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So guys, here you can see that if I click on this, it's the dark mode and it's the light mode. And also guys, we have the click sound also. So as soon as you click this switch, you can see that we have a sound here. Okay, so you can just add more variations to this. Right now I just add a basic one, like the light color would be yellowish, and you can see there is some spread on the screen, so it looks cool, right? And you can add more things, like you can add a room and a scenery to this in the background also. And we have a animated switch also. You can see that how we made this. So I'm gonna explain you how we are actually bringing this switch. And guys, for that you just need some basic knowledge of HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Some basic knowledge, like you must know what's proper what are the different properties in CSS, what's absolute, what's relative, and what's flexbox, and what's basically VH, that means 100 VH height, and what's before, what's after in CSS. And JavaScript is really basic. We're going to use very basic JavaScript. And HTML is a few lines of HTML in div tag and input tag and some more div tags. So guys, let's continue with this awesome project. So for that, what you need to do is, if you want to get the source code, I'll provide the link in the description. You can see that this is my GitHub profile. If you want to get the source code, you can just check out my GitHub profile. I'm going to provide the link of my GitHub profile. Okay, my GitHub profile. What you need to do is, you can just check out my GitHub profile, and here you can follow me. Okay, if you want to follow me, you can follow me here. And if you want to contact me, you can contact me on Instagram or LinkedIn, right? So I would just go to repositories, and here you have the bulb repository. So you can just check out this repository and you'll get the source code. Okay, so do check out this repository. The complete source code for today's video is available here. Okay, now let's continue. And now guys, we are gonna build this from scratch. Okay, and yeah, we're going to use one basic library also, that means some basic tool also, that is known as UI verse. Okay, we are not going to install this, but we are going to code chori karenge wahan se. Okay, we're going to steal some code from there. Okay, so yes, we are going to take you to this website named as UI verse. Okay, I'm just going to type toggle switch HTML CSS. Okay, so complete text, and then you can just go to this website. Okay, UI verse. Okay, UI verse. And here you can see we basically have a lot of buttons. If I click on this, you can see that, yeah, cool buttons, right? So I'm just gonna go down, and I would just pick some button of my choice. Now that's totally up to you. You can see there are a lot of great buttons, and what I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna look for my favorite one. So I'll just skip a lot from here, and you can see that this is the one which I'm gonna use. But yeah, you can different ones also, like this on off button or this button. You can see use whatever. Okay, but right, I'm gonna use this one because this is simple as well as it looks cool, right? So you can see this is a button, right? So what you get is, you get the HTML code and the CSS code for creating these kind of buttons, so that you don't need to make things from scratch. Okay, for these buttons. So I'm going to use this for making the button, and for the bulb we are going to make the bulb from scratch. Okay, so let's first of all guys, I'm going to create a folder here. Okay, I'm just going to name this folder as bulb. Okay, so bulb underscore final. Okay, I'm just gonna name it like this so that I know that this is my final project. Okay, and here I'm just gonna open this with VS Code. So I hope VS Code is installed. You can just search on YouTube how to install VS Code, and you'll know how to install this. Okay, now inside this we're gonna create an index.html file. Index.html file. Then guys, we're gonna need a CSS file, so index.css. And then guys, we're gonna need the JavaScript file. So I'm gonna write the JavaScript directly here because we have a few lines of code, but still you can shift JavaScript into script.js file. Okay, so now guys, what we're gonna do is, we're gonna just write this boilerplate, and you can see it's here. I'm just gonna name this as bulb. Okay, bulb. Okay, so short and simple. Okay, and then guys, we are gonna say that we would simply import the CSS. So I'm just gonna say that link and rel style.css. That means it's gonna just call the style.css. I'm just gonna name this as style.css so that you don't confuse between HTML and CSS file, right? So you can see that this is the CSS file. And now guys, here what we're gonna do is, we're gonna create some classes here, some divisions here, so that we can style them later on. Okay, for that what we need to do is, one more thing guys, I'm gonna have a mp3 file, that means the click sound. So if I play this, you can see that, yeah, it's just giving me a click sound. I'm going to provide this in the source code of my GitHub. You can just download it from there. Okay, so now I'm just gonna say that since we have this file, okay, so I'm just gonna say we have an audio tag, and here guys I'm just gonna say that src equals click.mp3, right? And here if I just say that the type of this equals audio slash mp3, right? So mp3, right? And I'm just gonna give it an id of click audio, so clickaudio, okay? And I'm just gonna close it, right? This is the audio tag. This is gonna help me play the audio. Now guys, we're gonna have a division, okay? And inside this I'm just gonna say that the class is what, light. And inside this we'll say that we first of all have a division for my wire. Okay, so I'm just gonna say that we have a class named as wire. Okay, then guys we're gonna have one more division for my bulb, so I'm just gonna say division, and this time I'm just gonna say that class is bulb. Okay, so these are the divisions. Okay, and now guys, after this what I need to do is I need to just paste my switch also. So we're gonna have a switch also. So first of all we have a wire, then we have a bulb, then we need a switch. Okay, so we have actually gotten the switch from here. Okay, so I'm just gonna copy this whole label. I'm just gonna copy this. Okay, and here I'll just paste it. Okay, here I'll just paste it, and I'll do one more thing. I'm just gonna cut it, and we're gonna create a division here, and let's give it a class name of switch, switch. Okay, switch out. Okay, something like that, so that I know that this is outer division for my switch. Okay, so now you can see that this is done. Now we are simply going to create one more css which is gonna store the css for my switch. So I'm just gonna say switch.css, and I'm just going to steal the css from here. Okay, so just copy this whole and paste it here. And guys, do one thing. You can see that it's directly targeting all the input tags, so I don't want that. So I'm just gonna say that target those inputs which are inside switch out, or whatever you like. So I'm just gonna say target those inputs which are inside switch out, right? You can see that's how. Okay, so I'm just gonna copy this, and we are going to do this again and again. We are going to repeat this. Okay, yes, so you can see that, yeah, it's very easy. You just need to paste it again and again, so that you are targeting that things inside the specific div. Okay, so that there is no confusion in CSS files. Okay, because you can see that previously in this CSS we were directly targeting the input element, so that's not right. Okay, so now I'm going to do this. Now you can see that it's perfect. Now let's try to run this, how it's gonna run. So I'm just going to take you to my code, and I'm just going to open it with live server. For that you need to install an extension named as live server. Here guys, you're gonna get an extension named as live server. You can just search for it, live server, and live server, actually SER. Okay, so here you get this extension, and you can just install it, and then you would get the option of go live here. Okay, go live option would be here, or you can right click and open with live server. Okay, so go live, and once I click on this, I would simply click on this, and you can see that here we get this bulb. Okay, here we get this bulb. So right now you can see that css is not visible. Why? Because we have to just add the switch.css. Okay, so I'm just going to add the switch.css. I'm just going to type switch switch.css, right? So you can see now we have this bulb. Okay, now we have this bulb. Okay, right, perfect. So now guys, we are going to create this. So now guys, you can see we have this switch, right? After that, what we are going to do is we are going to write CSS for our wire and bulb. Let's do this. So we're gonna go to our style.css, and inside this we're gonna write our CSS for the bulb and the wire. Let's do this. So guys, first of all, I'm gonna say that there won't be any margin and padding, and this would be border box. Okay, this page would be border box, and now I'm going to decide my root colors, root variables, so that I know that what are the colors. You can change these colors later on. Okay, now after this I'm gonna say that my body tag would be display flex, justify content center, align item center, and the height would be taken 100 vh, and background would be this color. So you can see that now everything is in center. Now after this guys, I'm gonna say that my bulb would be position relative. Okay, I'm gonna say that my bulb would be position relative. Right now you can see that the bulb is not visible because we haven't shown it, so I'm just gonna say that the position of the bulb is relative, and then width of my bulb would be 80px. Okay, and the height of my bulb would be suppose 80px, right? And then after that I'm just gonna say my background color. So background color would be what, where bulb bg color. Okay, so I picked some color for my bulb. You can see that that's where my bulb would be located, and I'm just gonna say that the border radius of my bulb would be 50%. Okay, 50%. Right now I'm gonna say that dot bulb colon colon before, right? And I'm just gonna say that I'm just going to create an imaginary division here using before, so that I don't need to create a division separately. That's what before and after is used for. Before and after is used for. So I'm just gonna say that the content is blank. So content is what, blank, right? And then I'm gonna say that the position is what, absolute, right? And then I'm gonna say that the top is what, minus 50 pixel. Okay, minus 50 pixel. Then I'm going to say that we have a left, and I'm just going to say that 22.5 px. Okay, something like that. Okay, then we're going to say that we have a width of 35 pixel. Okay, then I'm going to say that we have a height of 80 pixel. Okay, so it would create an imaginary div here, and now I'm going to give it some background color. Okay, so I'm just going to say that background color would be same as my bulb color. Okay, so where bulb bg color. Okay, bulb bg color, that's it. So my bulb and my after would be looking exactly same, but on top of that I'm gonna add one more thing, that is border top, and I'm just gonna say that we're gonna have some border at the top, 30 pixels solid. And then I'm gonna say that we have a variable named as bulb tip color. So you can see that now it must have a bulb tip color. And right now what's exactly happening here is I'm simply saying that my bulb is taking this much, the content is absolute, and then I'm saying that it's top 22.5, and then width is this much, and I have to give the height also. I've given the height, and then guys I have given this background. Okay, I'm sorry. So the background is this, and then I would just say that border radius is what, I did one mistake. I have to name this as bulb. Okay, now you can see it would be showing like this. Okay, so let me just write this again. So you can see that what it did was it just created this division. Okay, it just created this division. You can see we just created this division and we just gave it this much space. I'm just gonna say that the background color is for now red. Okay, it's for now red. So you can see that now it's not visible because we have to give it some width and height. So I would just say that suppose the width is what, uh, 35 pixel, and the height is what, 80 pixel. Okay, so you can see that now I've given it some width and height, and this is the rectangle which we created at this position. Now you can shift the position also. You can just make it minus 80, so you can see that now it's a little bit more above. You can just shift the position just like this. Okay, but I'm gonna keep it as it is. Okay, I'm gonna keep it as it is, right? So you can see that I made this, and now what I need to do is I just need to say that the background is what, background color is what, where, and I would just pick bulb bg color. So you can see that now my bulb is created like this. Now after that I'm just gonna give it top border, so it would just be like the tip of my bulb, right? Then after that I'm just gonna give it some border radius, so you can see 10 pixel border radius. So you can see that's how it really looks, and you can see that the bulb looks cool. Okay, now similarly guys, we're gonna style the wire also. Okay, so we want the wire to be in exact center, so we'll just say that again the position of this wire would be absolute, and from top it's basically 0, and from left it's basically 50%, that means in the center. And then I'm gonna say that go to exact left. Okay, that means from top don't shift, but from top don't shift, but to the leftward side just shift a little bit. So I'm just doing this, I'm just saying this. Okay, so it's just shifting a little bit towards center. Okay, towards center. And then I'm gonna say that width is 5 pixel. Okay, and height of this would be 50 vh, and then I'm gonna give it some background color. So background color would be what, where, and I'm just gonna name it tip color. Okay, same as the tip color. So you can see that's how it really looks. Okay, then I can just give it some border radius also, but I think that looks fine. Okay, that looks fine. Okay, so we have this. You can change the color later on. I'm just gonna say for now I can just say that wire color. I can just change the color to brown also for now. So if I just pick some brown color, okay, so brown color, and I would just say that the color is what, okay, sorry, wire color. Okay, so you can see that this is the wire color. You can just change this. I would just make it a bit more darker. Okay, darker shade of brown. So you can see that, yeah, that's the wire. If you want to change it to black, you can definitely do it. It's totally your choice. But yeah, you can see that that's the wire which we created. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep it black only for now. You can see that black also looks fine. So yeah, now I'm going to do one more thing, that is what I'm going to target my switch. So for that we have the division which we created outside my switch, that is switch out. Okay, so that we don't need to worry about the CSS of switch, we are targeting this division. Okay, so I'm just gonna say that the position of this is what, absolute. Okay, first of all, and then it would be bottom 10%. So from bottom it would be 10%, and from left it would be in center 50%. So I would just say that yeah, it would be little bit in center. Now I would simply say that go to exact center. So for that I have to transform it to little bit left side. So I'm just going to say minus 50%. Okay, that means minus 50% and 0. So you can see that now the switch would be in center. Okay, so after that guys, what we need to do is we just need to give it some space here. I'm just gonna say that okay, so I'm sorry, here we need to write translate. Okay, so now it would be fine. So you can see now it's in center. Yes, now what else we need to do is, if I want to give it some color, I can just give it some color also later on, but right now you can see yeah, that looks fine, the switch is in proper position. Now after that guys, I'm gonna say that as soon as I click on this, I want the bulb to light up. So for that I'm just going to go to my HTML. Okay, I'm just going to go to my HTML. I have to look that how it's working. Okay, so first of all my switch is here. If I click on the switch, so you can see that basically we have an input here. Okay, we basically have an input here. I'm just gonna hit this to next line. Okay, you can see that we basically have an input here, right? So this is basically a checkbox. That means we have to say that if it's checked, that means bulb is light up, and if it's not checked, that means bulb is off, like that. Okay, so we are just gonna target what, we are gonna target this ID, on off ID. Okay, so first of all I'm gonna say that we are gonna have the script tag here. We are going to have a script tag here, and inside this we're gonna have first of all target the audio. Okay, audio tag to just target the audio, to play the audio later on. And then one more thing, that is we need to target this on off, that means this input tag. Right now once you target this, you need to target one more thing, that is the body, right? So I'm gonna say that once I click on the button, that means on off input. Okay, that means I'm just gonna say event listener, add event listener, and once someone clicks on this, I'm just adding that click event to it, to the switch. Okay, once someone clicks on this, I'm just gonna say that if the checkbox is checked. Okay, if the checkbox becomes checked, CHECKED, if the checkbox is checked, right, then do what, just give it an alert, bulb is on. Okay, if the checkbox is not checked, just give bulb is off. So if I click on this, you can see bulb is on, you can see that now it's checked, it's on. And here simply you can see we have this. Okay, so instead of this I'm gonna just pass this, okay, this straight line, so that it looks cool. So you can see this means checked, that means you can see the bulb must light up, and you can see O means off. Okay, O means off. So that's how it really works, O or 0, whatever you want. So yeah, O means off, and this I means I or 1, whatever you call it. So yeah, you can say that it's on. Okay, so that's how a bulb works. So now you can simply say, instead of this, I want to light up my bulb. So what I'm gonna do is, in my body, I'm just gonna add a class. Okay, so I'm just gonna say body dot toggle. Toggle simply adds a class or removes a class. So I'm just gonna say body dot class list, I'm sorry, class list dot toggle. Okay, toggle. So it's saying that if the light on class doesn't exist to my body, just add this class. Okay, and again in the end case also, in the else case also, I'm again going to toggle. That means if the light on class exists already, then remove this class. So this is gonna remove this time, this is gonna add this class, and this is gonna remove this class. Okay, so if I give you example, if I inspect, and yeah, I'm gonna go to this body, you can see this the body. If I click on this, you can see that now a class light on is added. If I remove this, you can see that now light on is removed. Okay, so I'm just gonna comment this out for now. Yes, you can see that now it's working perfectly. So what you need to know is, now as soon as I click on this, that means we have the light on class. So we have to write CSS for that light on class into what, into my style.css, right? Style.css. Yes, so I'm gonna come back here. Okay, I'm gonna come back here, style.css, and I'm just gonna say that if I have the light on class, its background color must be some radial gradient. Okay, so you can see some radial gradient is here if the light on class is here. So if I close this, you can see it's not here. If I open this, you can see it's here. Okay, so as soon as you load the page, you can see you have something like this. If I click on this, you can see it's here, right? So light on class is also here. I'm just gonna say inside this we have a bulb, right? Inside the body, this is acting as my body now, right? So inside this we have the bulb. I'm just gonna say that it has some background color. You can just choose some color from the variables also. You can create some variable color also, okay, as per your demand. So you can see I changed the bulb color. now I have to change the bulb before and after things. Okay, so I'm just gonna say that before bulb must also be changed. So I'm just gonna say that before bulb color would also be changed. You can see now it's changed. Right, now one more thing, that is bulb after would also be changed. So what you can do is you can just give it some more colors like that. So if you want, so I'm just gonna say that bulb after would be created. Okay, so previously we didn't create the bulb after, but right now we are going to create this. So I'm just gonna say in center, in the exact center, I want to create bulb after. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna create some space, something like this. Okay, something like this, width and height, something like this. Then I'm just gonna give it some background color. Okay, some background color, so it would light up more. Okay, so you can see that it lights up more. It's like a filter. Okay, so I would need to add first of all the border radius. Okay, border radius. Okay, right, so you can see that now it's like this. Now I need to add a filter. Okay, so you can see 70 pixel of filter. So yeah, that's totally up to you. If you wanna just decrease the filter, you can definitely decrease the filter, and you can just change this to something else. You can just make it a little bit greenish if you want, or like something like which would help you making this look better. Okay, so you can see that now we have a combination of green, orange and something like that, so it looks better. Okay, right, so you can see that now our bulb is created. If I close this, you can see it's like this. If I open this, you can see it's like this. Right, now one more thing is remaining, guys, which is the click sound. So it's very easy. You're just going to go here and you're just going to say audio dot play. Okay, audio dot play. As soon as the bulb is on, audio dot play. Okay, audio dot play, that's it. So as soon as I click on this, you can see click sound is here. As soon as I close this, it's not there. So it's here, it's not there, it's here, it's not there. Right, so guys, now you can see that this project has been created, and it's a very basic project, beginner friendly project. And if you are someone who wants to show off to your friends, and you want to create a cool project, so you can definitely create this project. Now our project is completed. You can check out this, you can run this on your own, and the code is available on my GitHub profile. So for checking the code, you can again just visit the description. There I have provided my GitHub profile link. You can follow me here. You can check out my Instagram and LinkedIn also. And then guys, you can check out the repository. Inside this we have the bulb repository. Just click here and you'll get the source code for today's session. Right, so guys, I hope you understood this video, and this was a short session for the short project. And if you like these kind of projects, you can give me a suggestion for other projects also. If you want any specific kind of project in HTML, CSS, JavaScript, or if you want MERN stack projects, you can ask for that also. If you want DSA based videos, you can also ask for that. Right, so that's it for today. I will see you in the next one. Till then, have a good day. Bye bye.